Welcome to Channel AMEC, your insight to the Australian visa system. Good day everyone, my name is Carl Young, your online YouTube visa consultant. Are you interested about migrating to Australia? Why don't you consider to subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell on the side, so once we have all the updates and news, you'll be the first one getting all the insight. Now, exciting week. Yesterday, we have just updated some news in regards to the extensions for the 485 visa and also the work hour, the work rights for international students. Now, on the same time, the same token, the Minister of Home Affairs, Clare, was on media announcing major, shall I say, public speech. It's basically targeting the way how the government of Australia was pivoting from its existing visa system towards a new system. Remember, if you have been following my channel long enough, you notice that by the end of February, I mean, that's going to be only a few days away, most of the policy should be already in place, where the Department of Home Affairs and the Department of Immigration will have to make the new policies in regards to all kinds of new visas and categories. Now, all I can say to summarize this first, but we're going into detail, and also we'll talk about how that will affect your visa in the future. But just to summarize, the government of Australia is now focusing on permanent migration. They are going to dump the idea of temporary workers and temporary visas and helping the economy, but they are now focusing fully on permanent migration, which is very, very beneficial for everyone who's seeking to migrate to Australia. Now, no longer the government is looking for a way of, sometimes they call it indefinite temporary visa. For example, those protection visa holders, they've been there for ages. So they are promoting a permanent migration pathway from now onwards. Well, obviously we have seen a lot of changes moving towards that way, but in the bright future, the upcoming 3, 5, 10 years, that will be the goal for the nation of Australia. Now let's have a look what we have received yesterday, the news article. Now, you may probably already read through this news. This is everywhere. This is from ABC News and also on the SBS News. So basically, I'll just pick one and I'll go to the actual speech and content and have a read about it. So, okay, so the Minister of Home Affairs, Clare, pledges to overhaul of Australian broken and backward migration system. Well, obviously the former Prime Minister Scott Morrison said he was going to overhaul the system, but it looks like he didn't do anything and have a lot of delay and backlog of more than 1 point something million application in inside of the department. But anyway, we have a much more responsible government now in place. So let's have a look. Now, the key point here that we're gonna take is obviously the Minister of Colonial was on the media. They wanted to do a radical simplification, which I am totally with it. Well, I'm very welcome on this one because, talking about the employment sponsored visa, I've been complaining about that system for a long time. It's too complicated, too lengthy, and the minister even take a example here. So she basically said back in where is it? It's basically let's have a read about this article and we'll talk about that anyway. So she said that our migration system has been continental drift of decades. The Australian migration system is broken. Whether she said it for political advantage, but anyway, it is true. It is true. It's too complex, too expensive, and it's slow, isn't it? How many people have been waiting on the pipeline, and how many of you have been leaving a comment on my channel and saying, oh, when do I get a result? Well, it's just been too slow, isn't it? It's not delivering a business, it's not delivering migrants, it's not delivering for the nation. So Ms. O'Neill said structural reform varies significant in size of scope. We need to rebalance. Here we go. Here's the key. Temporary and permanent migration program to fix the complex of administration system that Australia an unattractive destination. Well, it's still very attractive, but well, how many of you have been comparing Australian system against, well, say, New Zealand or Canada, right? Okay, so high valued migrants that the world is fighting for today face bureaucratic delay coming in Australia, and the red carpet treatment migration goes elsewhere. We have just seen through the FOI, Freedom of Information, declare that, remember how many 189 invitation has been thrown into the pool last year, but only of, I don't think all of them got take the invitation, because a lot of them already left. They left elsewhere, and that's what they're trying to say. We just can't let it continue. We gotta simplify, and net migration play a crucial back in avoiding a recession almost 30 years. But the net skilled permanent migration over Australia has plateaued at about 30,000 a year in the past 2 decades. So that's 20 years, and the number of people temporary has grown. How many? 1.9 million migrants today. Now that's a lot. Now, obviously the government of Australia is looking for a way to get this 1.9, probably not all of them, but get them to permanently stay, to fix the problem that the economy is facing at this point in time. Obviously, we have gone through a COVID-19 pandemic. Everywhere around, every country around the world is looking for a way to fix the economy. We have a system pretty much exactly backwards. It's relatively easy for low-skilled temporary migrant to come to Australia, but difficult, slow, and not particularly attractive for high-skilled permanent migrants. So who are these people? Obviously the professional, and a lot of people has been complaining on the GTI Global Talent Dependent Visa has been too slow. But look, once this set of goal has been set, I think everything will go pretty fast and pretty quick. Now, priority overhaul migration program. Miss O'Neill government was considering 8 big changes. We're gonna go into the 8 big changes now. Okay, so this is all followed up by the last year's November. There's also a call for the changes and receiving information from all stakeholder nation and internationally, and also it's a trigger from the September's Job Skills Summit and all the way up to the budget. So let's have a look on the actual speech. So this was done in the media release on 22nd of February 2023. Now I am not gonna go through the whole 8 pages of what she actually spoke, but I'm gonna scroll to the very end. Here we go, to the 8 key changes, the big changes. Now, it's not policy, because it's basically what the Minister of Home Affairs, Clare is aiming for the whole department, the whole Australian visa system to go forward with. So let's have a read. First, the first is simple but important. We need to articulate clear definition why our migration system exists. Now, I think that's pretty simple and quick. Now, why? I have the answer to this, because Australia is the 6th largest continent in the world. It's only 25 million people. We need more people. We need to get the population up. And what problem wants to resolve, and we can design a program where the structure, rules, administration meets those objectives. Okay, and second, we need to redesign fundamental structure of the migration system, rebalance the temporary and the permanent program. We need to sensible, good discussion, long-term management of migration program as a whole, including work with the state and state government. That's why there hasn't been throwing into numbers of quarter to a lot of state and territories, because they are just not coping with the time required. Services and housing, I should have changed or described here. I don't necessarily mean more migrant. The push is more care, time, attention, strategy, and getting the right people we need. So number 3, okay, we need to remove policy that create permanently, here we go, that's the key here, permanently temporary So they don't want people to continue to stay in Australia temporary. They want to create a clear picture, clear pathway for permanent migration, so people can come and have this speculative, the structural way and pathway, knowing that they can permanently become a permanent resident, not temporary resident, for permanently. Okay, this will be would mean being clear on where migration is truly temporary and managing their managing the visa way fairly. How many people has been treated unfairly and unjust for the past years? We need to sharpen focus skill. Both have this clear strategy thinking behind that we are trying to get here, where they will come from, as well as streamlined process that doesn't frighten them away. So not people are going to be waiting in the pipeline for so long, and involve active selling our country to the migrant we need. So they are involving in promoting another way. I think putting a selling is probably not a good wording, but actively promoting our country to the migrant. And these are going to be the skilled, highly professional migrant there. Okay. Number 5, we need to unlock migrant potential, improving the speed, ease which they recognize migrant existing skill that they arrive, increasing support, translate the skill of secondary applicant and other to the labor market. Number 6, we need better coordinate, integrate that they need a labor market. So that means they need to integrate it to the economy, the Australian economy needs and demands, and they have active correlating system between the market needs and demands, and also to the skilled migrants there. Number 7, we need to design out migrant worker exploitation where we can, so ensure that people coming to Australia is treating fairly, not being exploited. We need to fix the administration of the system, simplify ICANN rules and reduce complexity. No more spaghetti diagram, please. That's an interesting part there. So basically, let's just summarize it. Over the past years, that's 10 years, basically throwing bad stuff to the former government. The former government has been treating the visa system in a way to having a lot of permanent temporary visa holders, so the people there, they never get anywhere. So the government of current Labour government is seeking a way to overhaul a full change of the visa program by actively promoting Australia as the best destination for all the skill and top bright talents to come, with the program with a clear pathway that people come here, they will actually they can actually get a permanent residency and stay in Australia permanently, not with a temporary visa, but with a permanent visa. So it's gonna be an exciting time coming. Expecting this to let's have a look. It says here at the very last sentence before closing, our next step, prepare based off the World Migration Review team a draft architecture new migration system. Great. We will release that our consultation discussion in April. Now that's gonna be right after Easter. Didn't I say that the expectation will be around Easter? Here we go. How did I estimate that? Well, because that's how the cycle of visa system has been going on for the past 20 years, where I have been practicing in this field. And obviously the new financial year is coming up in July, so they definitely need something in place before July, and the best place is right after Easter. They will announce a lot of stuff. So, but during this time, I think a lot of policy will, just like yesterday, be announced and implemented. So make sure you subscribe to my channel and share this good news to your friend. Anyway, should you have more question or query, more than welcome to leave comment right down below, and I'll see you next video. Goodbye.